All right, guys. Hello. Long time. This is kind of a sporadic video. I owe you guys some more stuff, and I have it. Like I said, I just been having issues uploading, but I am gonna still upload them. This video, like I said, is very sporadic. I was actually asked to do a video. A person thought that it would be interesting to hear my perspective coming from a married woman, and a very sensitive one, and one that can also come off feisty sometimes, but I've worked on it over the years and I've gotten a lot better. So the topic is, most of you all, I'm sure, have seen the clip that came out with Safaree and Erica from Love and Hip Hop. And I just had so much to say watching the video. I watched that video like 5 times, 2 of which I cried, okay? Just because I've been in that like place where you just feel like you just want someone to love you through your imperfections and help you work on them and grow through them, you know? So I'm gonna try to make it as quickly as I can, but this is my opinion. I don't have all the facts, right? So this is just based on what we've all seen on social media, and mainly the conversation that took place, because I'm not really gonna give too much on stuff I don't know, that I did not see. Wrote me a little outline so I could make sure I just touch everything that I wanted to touch. Be as detailed and efficient as I can. So, we all saw the story of when they got together, right? We all knew Erica, and everyone knew that she was a feisty person. Most of her conversations ended with her putting her hands on somebody, which is not acceptable. But we have all seen her grow from that. And we all seen him pursue her. He was very persistent and very made it like that's what he wanted, right? He did not take no for an answer, and that's fine, because that's what a man should do should he be looking for a wife, right? Great. Now, we also know Erica's past, right? We know that that girl has been through a lot, that she's done things that she's not proud of. She has been attacked on numerous occasions on social media and humiliated. And all she's ever known is fight, yell, cuss. That's how I defend myself. That's how I protect myself. And so once she met this man that seemed like he was there to love her through all those imperfections, and understand that deep down in there was a loving, caring, very loyal woman that just needed to be loved properly, and she could give a man everything in the world that he wants and needs. And that's what I have seen in her. Her passion, I feel it because I'm the same way. He came across as, of course, romantic, that he was a protector, that he was not judging her on anything from her past, right? And here you have this loving girl that just wants to love. She's very loyal. We know she's feisty. She's brokenhearted. She's been betrayed so many times in so many ways. And I'm not saying perfect. She's a hothead. She's disrespectful sometimes. But like I said, we've all seen her grow from that. And that's what life is about, is growing and learning from your mistakes, okay? But once he took on that, right, if he was being real, his number one job, now I don't know if Erica and Safaree are spiritual. I believe that they are. So I'm a spiritual person, and I believe that a man's number one job is to protect home first, always, even if you have a problem. You protect home, you protect your wife and your family. Always. You protect them first, and then you take the leadership to say what can happen and what shouldn't happen and what needs to change. That's your job as a man, as a leader, if you want that job, right? So somewhere along the lines, they got into a fight, right? And the first thing that man did was went to social media, the one place that brings back all of the memories of her humiliation, of what everyone in the world had done to her that made her defensive and made her want to attack. And the man that I trusted, that I was vulnerable to, and I let down all that, I let go of all that tough exterior because I trusted him and I felt safe with him. And now I can't feel safe with him because he want to get mad, and then you want to go on social media. That's not a husband's job. That's not a man's job, and that was not real. Now, I heard him say some stuff in the video. Oh, you threw out our wedding pictures. Okay, that's a feisty, vindictive thing, but guess what? She kept it at home. Let's not act like we all ain't got our wedding pictures on a little flippity thing where you can go and reprint your pictures. Stop. That does not measure up to you going on social media and bashing your wife. That's so lame. And that was the first thing that you did, was because you now have become like everyone else, and she no longer feels safe. She no longer feels protected. And that's the number one thing that men need to understand, that women need and want. Everyone always talks about, oh, she just needs to be quiet, or she's insecure, or she's this, she's that. She just wants to feel safe. And what that means is that, number one, she wants to not feel disposable. She doesn't want to feel like as soon as I make a mistake or I do something that you don't like, that you're going to walk out on me, or that you're going to do the one thing that everyone in the world has done to hurt me. That's a safe place, is to know that here I'm okay, and that's how God makes you feel. He makes you feel safe. I don't care what you did the night before. When you go before God, none of that matters, right? Because you're always going to be loved by him, no matter what. That's unconditional love. And that is how God wants you to love your wife. So he was wrong for that, period. And until that is addressed, she cannot feel safe. And so now here we come with her being defensive. She's hurt. She's worried. She literally said to this man, with tears in her eyes, and I felt her emotion, I feel like you don't want to do life with me. And instead of him saying something, just anything comforting, he literally just looks like, Now, on the flip side, watching the video, there are things that I would have done different had I been Erica in that situation. When she walks into the room and he mentioned, she says something like, and I'm going to put the link so you guys can watch the video in my bio, but she says something along the lines of, I feel like we're roommates, right? And then he says, I'm sleeping in the studio. I feel like instead of her throwing a little slug, I would have been like, I miss you. I want you around. I've said these things to my husband, right? We don't have the issues they have, but if I'm just feeling like, dang, you're busy, you know what I mean? Like, I miss you. I just want you to be in here with me. There isn't anything specific that I want. I just want you to come in here and be with me. I want to see your face. I want to talk to you. I want to crack a joke, whatever. And so I feel like she could have done something like that. I feel like neither one of them did a good job taking accountability. It was kind of a, well, you've done this. Oh, really? Well, you've done this type of thing. So as a woman, had Safaree said to me, you know, I want to say he told her he's at peace when he's sleeping in his studio. So I would have at least asked the question of, well, what is so unpeaceful about being in the home with me? Do you know what I mean? Like, what can change? And then she, like I said, she wanted to feel like he cared. And he never, not once did I feel like he cared. And I felt, that's why I cried, because I was like, being in that position, that would just break me down. Like, I wouldn't even, if you feel like someone no longer cares or they've like, they're out of it, for me, I can't fight with that. I gotta at least know that you care. I know that some people are stubborn, and I believe that might be what Safaree's doing. Or it honestly could be like, in the beginning, he thought that he wanted her in this way, but he doesn't. Because there's no way that he can't understand. Let me not say there's no way. I believe that he does not understand what marriage is. When he told Erica, you've changed since we met, and then she went in to say why, she literally told him, you don't put into me how you used to. Just like anybody else, don't flip the script. Like, don't, the same way you don't want your woman to change, those things that make us fall in love with you, you need to keep doing them. Now, I know life happens, kids make it hard, but there's little things you can do to show that you love a person and that you still see them. Do you get what I'm saying? I see you. I see what you're doing. I still love you. I miss you too. I know we're not seeing each other. There's things that they could both do. But for her to be vulnerable and let him know, and this man told her to get over it. If I was Erica, I might have traveled back to reality real quick. I'm sorry, travel back to the future on that. Like, excuse me? Don't do it. Don't, like, I felt so bad, but I was so proud of her because I thought she was going to hit him with something. Because sometimes that pain will make you do that. I'm not condoning it. I'm just saying that we're not perfect, and that it's not okay for someone that you love to push those buttons and to take you to a place that you work so hard to get away from. And they made it like their intention was to help you, to build you up so that you don't have to be that person. And now you are looking me in my face as my husband, my protector, my lover, and telling me to get over it? No, sir. So it's just like, if he doesn't want marriage, because it takes work. And I believe that they both need to mature, but I do see hers more than his. He was literally acting like a kid. Like, I was so mad. I was like, really? Because I like both of them. And I saw him as one of the more mature men on the show, which is why I felt like their relationship wasn't like a publicity stunt. That it was more so, it was real love, and I felt good for her to be able to have a man like him who was going to be there to build her up. But now I just feel like he's breaking her down. So I guess all in all, I feel like Safaree needs to focus on being the head and the king. And what that means, if you men don't understand, is sometimes you got to take charge. When she's acting up, you don't do it with her. You're the example, right? This is your home, your castle. You built this. I'm the king. I'm the man. Okay, well, show me how to act. Show me what to do then. That's your job. So he needs to understand that. He needs to learn to protect her again. Protect her heart. Protect her as a person. She's your wife. If you want to still be there. He needs to be honest. And if maybe he did think things were going to be different. Maybe he didn't love her how he thought he did, and it was more of a lust thing. maybe be honest with her. Y'all can still work through it if you do love her at all. But I feel like he's holding back, and he's not totally being honest about why he has just like stepped out, like clicked out of the situation. I think he needs to be more gentle and caring, because that's how he got her in the first place. He needs to take accountability and be understanding. She is a woman. She's been hormonal. She's tired. She's a woman. She's hormonal. She's tired. So understand that when she says, I do get, she was like, you didn't even think to let me sleep in. I feel like she should just communicate that. But sometimes you do want thought put into things. You do. Now me, I would say it. I've learned that I need to voice what I want. Right? So she needs to just say that. Like, sometimes it would be nice if you helped with the laundry, or if you allowed me a nap and took the baby with you to do something, or allowed me to sleep in one day. She should say that. But I do think he needs to be more understanding. Now, on Erica's part, she needs to take accountability. I never heard her say sorry for anything that she did. She only gave an excuse as to why she did it. And even though I might understand the excuse, that's not how marriage works, and that's not effectively communicating and working through a problem. She needs to acknowledge what she did, apologize that you made someone feel a way, and then move from there. She also needs to be understanding as well. She needs to take a step back and say, you know what? Maybe marriage came quick for him. Maybe he took on something a little bit too fast. She needs to leave room for error for him as well, and not expect him to be so perfect and know everything. But they both need to be willing to learn. I also think she needs to go back, as hard as it's going to be for her, because she's afraid now and she doesn't feel protected. She needs to go back to having a more meek and mild spirit. I learned, for me, that works. I would literally be like, I know I'm right in my mind, right? And God would send me to a passage, a scripture, something that someone wrote, and it always kept saying, be quiet. A wife is meek. She's mild. She's gentle. Like, that's what he wants. Because he wants us to calm down and not try to force our opinion and, all these things on our husbands. Because if we're yelling, constantly nagging, they can't hear from God. Now, this is when you got a man who's trying to hear from God. So I don't know if Safaree is. I hope so. But we just need to be more gentle with our approach as well. A man doesn't want to feel like he's married to a man. I'm sure they appreciate the woman not being a punk. But when it comes to them, they're not trying to look at you like you trying to act like a nigga, like I'm tough. I can fight. I could do. No, that's not what they want. They want a wife to be mild, to be meek, to be sweet. That's what they want, right? So she does need to get back into a place where she can do that through his sarcasm. One of the hardest things in the world. Through that sarcasm, still try to keep a gentle spirit and a gentle tone. And Erica needs to be more prayerful. She needs to, instead of depending on Safaree to make her happy in this moment that we know he's being a jerk, she needs to pray about it, because it literally helps. I promise you, I can count at least 5 times that I knew I was right. And I was like, God, my husband's being stubborn. I am right. And God was like, I know, but I don't need you to tell him. And I'm like having a conversation like, but what you mean? Why I can't tell him I'm right here? And he's like, you're not going to say anything. If you want the situation to be resolved, let me handle it. So a day would go by and I'm like, Did you tell him yet? Because he ain't say sorry. For real, you guys, like I do have these conversations, like, because he ain't saying nothing. So, you sure you don't want me to just do it? I can do it real quick. I know you'd be busy. He was like, you gonna be quiet? I'm gonna handle it. And then, like, on the second or third day, my husband will come and be like, you know what? Sorry about the other day. You was right, woo woo. I'll be like, it worked. Yeah, I was. No, I don't tell him that I was right. But I do get a sense of joy. Number one, getting your prayers answered feels great. But just to know that God is there to help guide you through any problem that you're having, it's just a good feeling. It feels like, you got a partner right there when things are not going right. And so it does work. And I think if Erica tries it, you never know. It might work out for her. Like, instead of talking to him, pray for him. And those are my thoughts. So if you guys have any feedback, you can leave it in the comments. Again, like I said, for those who haven't seen it, I'm going to go ahead and post a link to the video in my bio. So you guys have a great day, and remember, wives, be as meek and gentle as you can, and husbands, remember to always protect home first. Have a good day.